Masks will remain mandatory in Perth when restrictions ease at the weekend after the fourth day of no new local cases. Capacity limits for cafes and restaurants will lift to 75% and cash grants will be made available for small businesses who struggled during the snap 3-day lockdown.
After 4 donut days in a row, the Premier is confident to loosen the lid on WA. Perth and the Peel region will return to almost pre-lockdown levels of restrictions, but some rules will remain for another 7 days.
It's my hope and my expectation that from Saturday the 8th of May, these relatively minor restrictions will be able to come off and we completely return to where we were before the lockdown.
Masks are still mandatory except outdoors. Only 30 people are allowed inside a home, but crowds of 500 are permitted at outdoor events. Weddings and funerals can have up to 200 attendees. Spectators are allowed at community sport and nightclubs can reopen, but partygoers must wear masks. Cafes, pubs, bars and restaurants can also open to 75% capacity. For footy fans, there's more good news. The Western Derby at Optus Stadium on Sunday will go ahead with a crowd. 45,000 people are allowed in the stands, but all must wear masks.
Police won't be heavy-handed, they'll adopt a common sense approach, but in that environment where there's lots of people gathered together, the expectation, and in fact the law, is that people will wear a mask.
The 3-day snap lockdown over the long weekend was difficult for many businesses. So too were the last 4 days. Capacity limits meant it was not viable for many to reopen. But there is a small silver lining. Cash grants of $2,000 will be made available for eligible companies.
It's designed for businesses in hospitality industry, like cafes, bars and restaurants, and other businesses like catering services, dance studios, cinemas, fitness centres, gyms and events with perishables.
It's the second time WA has dodged a COVID outbreak bullet. February's lockdown lasted 5 days, this latest one only 3, but both were sparked by faults in the hotel quarantine scheme.
The hotel quarantine system, as we said repeatedly, is not perfect. It was never created for hotels weren't built for this purpose. And we've got to bring Australians home as safely as we can. We're working on measures to make it safer. That's been a continual process now for the last 14 months.
If all goes well, over the next 24 hours, restrictions will ease from 12:01 on Saturday morning, with even more freedom on the horizon.
We just need to get through this week to be 100% sure the virus is not lingering in our community.
Emily Evans, Sky News, Perth.